I'm not sure if us boxing fans are really comprehending what is happening in front of our eyes. The UK have the hottest prospect in the world, and he's a heavyweight. Now, I'm sure most of you already know Moses Itauma got his 12th win of his career last night against Mike Balogun. He's gone 12-0. Can we say Mike Balogun is the best win of Itauma's career? Probably not, because he's a bit of an unknown entity. No one really knows how good he is. Obviously, he lost in 2 rounds against Murat Gassiev, which personally I like Gassiev, so for Moses Itauma to be able to equal that, I feel like it's quite impressive. Now, for Itauma, you can't just look at who he's beat and how quick he's done it, because that does him a huge disservice. There's a phrase in football that gets thrown around a lot called the eye test. Moses Itauma passes the eye test with flying colours. He is phenomenal to watch. The attributes and the skill set that he shows is incredible, not just for his age, but the things he can do in the ring, the current crop of heavyweights are not able to do. Bar Usyk is the exception, but Itauma has better footwork than everyone else, better hand speed than everyone else. He hits potentially just as hard as Dubois. Well, he hits harder than Usyk. He hits harder, maybe as hard as Dubois. That might be a stretch. But if you haven't seen the final knockdown that Itauma got on Mike Balogun last night, you need to go and watch it. It is an incredible shot. A shot that the majority of fighters in the world currently cannot do. Well, from middleweight up anyway. The only fighters that I think could pull off a shot like that are Dmitry Bivol, Jai Opetaia, and Alexander Usyk. And maybe not Alexander Usyk, and maybe not Dmitry Bivol, purely for the fact that they just don't seem to hit hard enough. I can see Jai Opetaia doing that, and that might be a fight later on in life that Itauma could make, which would be incredible if Jai Opetaia moves up to heavyweight. Now, as you can see, I am pretty much the leader of the Moses Itauma fan club, and it gets so annoying seeing people say, yeah, but you don't know how good he is. He hasn't had his chin checked. He hasn't fought anyone at world level. Well, no, of course he hasn't. But now is the time to step him up to world level. I don't think there's any need for him to tread any more water. We've seen how good he is. We have watched him. We've seen him 12 times now as a pro. I think he went 20-0 as an amateur. He is the real deal. We've had pretty much since the 1970s to the 1980s, since then onwards, we've always said the heavyweight division is not what it used to be, and any good heavyweight that we've had in the current era, they cannot be considered an all-time, I think it's really dark in here, they cannot be considered an all-time great purely because the opposition that they're fighting isn't good enough. If Moses Itauma now was to start fighting the current world level opposition, so obviously the Usyks, the Dubois, the Parkers, the Hrgovic, Joshua, I mean Fury if he's not retired anymore, but I won't touch on that because it'll annoy me. If he starts fighting these people now and beating them, then fast forward 10 years, Moses Itauma is 30, a new crop of heavyweights that could also potentially be world level could already have come through, and then he could fight them. He could basically beat the world level opposition in 2 separate eras if he starts fighting the world level opposition right now. And then we have a question whether he could be one of the greats. Obviously, this is speculation, and you can't tell if he's going to be able to do something to that extent, to that level. But why not try it? Even if he does step up a level and loses, he's 20. He has time to rebuild. He can just come again. Now, me personally, I feel like Itauma deserves a big name. Someone like Zhang, someone like Wilder, someone like Bakoli. Any of those three, stylistically, I think that would be an absolute perfect matchup for him. For him to get the job done and absolutely just demolish them. I think he beats all 3 of them with absolute ease. I think he's so much better than all 3, stylistically. Now, Bakoli was already interviewed by TalkSport yesterday, and I don't think he wants any piece of him. Bakoli thinks he's a step above Itauma's level, and he's using that as a reason to not want to take the fight. I mean, he wants the rematch with Jagba first. He wants the rematch with Parker. He wants to fight Joshua. He wants to fight Usyk. He knows that he can't get the big fights again until he airs out the dirty laundry. That's not the right phrase, is it? Until he basically clears his name against Jagba, because that was a poor performance. I did personally have it a draw, but he could have lost. He definitely did not win. That's for sure. So if Martin Bakoli's ruling out that fight, then it's clearly not going to happen. So I think either a Zhang or a Wilder would be a fantastic next fight for Moses Itauma. Now, do I think that's going to happen? Probably not. I can see the winner of Fabio Wardley, Justice Hooney, being the next person to fight Moses Itauma. Now, hopefully Fabio Wardley comes through that fight because I really like him. But I wouldn't want Wardley to fight Itauma because I think Itauma would win. And I want Fabio Wardley to go on his own trajectory. He seems like such a nice bloke. He seems very good. He's an exciting fighter to watch. Outside of the ring, I feel like as a pundit, he is fantastic. He's very level-headed. He seems very nice. I want him to go on his own path and forge his own way to get a title shot. I don't want him to fight Itauma because I feel like that would absolutely stunt Wardley's growth completely. I've been yapping long enough now. Leave in the comments who you think Moses Itauma should fight next, well, who you want him to fight next, and who you think he'll fight next. I mean, this has been my first YouTube video on the channel. That just shows how good Moses Itauma is. It has encouraged me to start talking about it on YouTube. He is an exciting prospect.